Hey, what's up, Chris?
What's going on, man?
How's it going? I think we're just waiting on Bree. Hello, anyone out there? I don't know why you showed up twice.
I lagged for a second there.
There. Breepo!
Hi.
What's going on?
Yay! How is
Hi,
everybody?
guys. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's so cool.
I know. I don't know how to get rid of this thing on the bottom. Does anyone who's watching know?
We're
No.
just we're just not tech
Oh,
people.
no, you're totally not. The fact that we're even doing a See You Live event is still kind of blowing my mind. Which view do
That's
you all
it.
like? Just me, or just all three? Like this way?
Um,
That's,
No.
or
I'm
that way? No.
rocking my son's cardboard
That
crown. Do I
one,
look
that
like I
one's
care?
good.
I love it. Oh, well,
Was
hello.
it say doodles or doo-doos?
Doodle. Doodle. I call him the Doodle King, so
Oh my
It's
god, your
pretty
son
cool.
cracks me up
it's
on
my
the
son's
internets.
nickname.
So thank you
Sweet.
for everyone bearing with us. I don't. If anyone is in there, if you feel free to post a comment. If you know how to get rid of live viewer comments, show up in StreamYard. This is an example. Click on comments and show it on screen. Did that work?
Ooh, that's pretty cool. Wonder if you have to have like
Oh, this is so cool. So, how is everyone this evening? We'll jump into it in 1 second. Once I can figure out how to use StreamYard. I'm brand new at a lot of these things, as we're all learning.
okay,
Yeah, I
you're
think we
still
all are at this
beautiful.
point.
I don't know what a banner is. I don't know what half this is. This is why
Banner.
you do stuff with friends and not like a stranger. Who happens
Yeah.
to be
So it
like
was just so awkward right now if we weren't friends, right? Hi, Paul.
so. Ball. Yeah, I don't know. Live viewer comments show up in the StreamYard. This is an example. Click on a comment to show it on. What do they mean?
Doesn't say all.
There we go. Oh, cool. All right. So hey, anyone listening? Anyone out there watching? Looks like hey, we got two viewers. Not too bad.
Aw.
Uh,
Who
you
are
can feel
they?
free
Probably
feel
my
to
husband.
comment. Maybe that nice. There's a really nice person in our wonderful Let's Chat community Facebook group. I think his name is Patrick. I'm so bad at names. I'm gonna pull it up right now, and I believe they said they were gonna be watching. And yeah, Patrick Watt, if you're out there, what up, dude? We love
Hi,
that man.
Patrick.
Super nice guy. So let's. All right, people, let's do this one last time. My name is Chris Revill, and we're here to chat about the Spider Verse, the greatest.
Ah,
First, let me show you. Look at this. I put way more effort into preparing than anything than doing this. I made a little background. I don't. I'm not a very decorative person,
it's
so
beautiful.
Victoria had
Is that a
gotten me
lava
that.
lamp?
Yeah, my good buddy
I'm standing
Gavin.
in my bedroom, so whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, this is my curtains. I'm Bree Benjamin. I go by Bree Poe and Ball.
we have our first troll. Is this a Trump rally?
Oh, Aaron. I tell you, Aaron, it's always him.
Well, that guy doesn't look any familiar.
Man, it kind of looks like you, Chris.
Uh-oh, we have different last names. Yeah, so welcome to our MAGA rally. I'm gonna go out and say if this was the reality of if this is Universe 43, then Kingpin is the Trump guy. So I believe it or not, we had prepared some stuff for both of you. Um, so by no means am I like a movie that smart when it comes to movies. But this is a movie I really strongly connect with on so many levels, and it also happens to have amazing storytelling, great animation. So let me start first with you, Brie. When did you see this movie first? And like when you went to see it, like did you know what you were walking into? Because I was just like, whatever, it looks cool. And then blew my
No,
mind.
back in the day, we were at the movie theater watching a movie, and this was a preview. And I was like, oh, great, another cartoon, just totally naive going into it. And I didn't know what to expect. So when I saw it, and I'm still learning things about it, how like the details and the digital just gets clearer as it goes on, as he like learns more
Yeah.
about himself. So it's
Wait,
amazing.
wait. Reframe that.
You know, it's like when you first started watching it, it's kind of like grainy. There's a lot of like pixels, but the pixels get clearer towards the end when he finds out who he is.
I never put that together. Oh my god.
Oh, good. Boom. You're
So
welcome.
you saw it in theaters?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah. It's good.
Doodle King. What about you? What's your experience with this movie?
I believe my friend gave me a free stream, free download code of it
Ooh.
before it got to
Le-
Netflix and all
legally.
that. Oh, yeah, actually, it was legal.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's less
he
fun.
randomly threw it up on. Nah, well, he randomly threw it up on a group online. So I said, "What the hell? I'll take it." I don't really collect those, but yeah, it was really good. I mean, first 10 minutes or so gets a little jarring, getting used to the animation, but it kind of is almost stop animation a little bit. It kind of gets you a little catch off guard for a little while, and then once you like you said, once you start progressing, then you get into it, and then it just goes away.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it is true. I mean, the first time I saw it, man. So this is kind of a funny story. So my brother-in-law Alex, he'll be at us there on the 29th on See You Live.
Woo!
We'll be plugging that and doing more of these, obviously. And so him and I had gone to see Ready Player One, which was a huge disappointment. Like, and this is how
What?
Ready. Oh yeah. I mean, like, so I saw me and
That's
him.
a nostalgia mess.
Okay,
That's
no,
really
it wasn't a disappointment, first of all, but you can continue your story.
Yeah. Oh. Are we about to get dispatched? So we saw it in theaters, but I saw the preview for Spider-Verse, and I was like, oh, I just like animation. I'm like, cool, I'll see it. But then, like, I think it was Mother's Day, so whatever, like a few weeks later, I was thinking about the Spider-Verse preview, and I remember being at the beach with Victoria, Felicity, and Nona, which is Felicity's grandmother, and I was like, man, when did I see that preview for Spider Verse? And I couldn't remember. I actually had to call Alex because Ready Player One, it wasn't bad. It was forgettable. I literally saw it and forgot everything about it because it did not connect to me. It was pretty. I don't know. It was worse than bad. It was just completely.
Okay, no,
unmemorable.
it wasn't worse than bad. And, Robert read the whole book and he was like, oh, it's really good. And I was like, no, it's going to be so lame. But, I got into it. It was good. It was.
I mean,
I like the movie more than the book. I
I
will
never read
tell
the
you,
book.
it's
You like?
definitely way more of a visual medium. Like it was one of
Yeah.
those things. You need to be a spectacle. Like it's fine as a book, but the writing is kind of.
They did a good job with, the filming of it and the whole storytelling, too.
In the book, is that the same story, like the same kind of thing in the book about the whole if you just drive backwards, you can solve the whole problem in 3 seconds? That I remember making me really mad.
You're just mad because he solved it so quickly, aren't you?
Yeah, actually, if we're just goofing around, I really have no strong opinions of that movie. I just remember not really caring for it. But I like to goof. We like to goof around here. But I remember seeing it and then calling us. I'm like, what fucking movie did we see? Like I couldn't remember it. But then we went to go see Spider Verse in theaters, and like right when it started, I was fucking hooked. But it was
It's
the
so
moment
good.
when they play
Yeah.
Notorious B.I.G.'s the Hypnotized. With the second that came in, like goosebumps on my arms, my whole body. I was like, I'm so in, and like it was one of the greatest movie going experiences I think I've ever had because
It's good. I still cover my eyes at
I hadn't had that
that
experience.
spider part where he gets
When he gets
bit.
bit,
Yeah.
oh
I
my
can't handle
god,
that. Ugh. Ugh.
yeah. You're right. There are, and like what you said, Britt, there's so many things like about it, like that. I own the DVD. I've watched the special features, and I've watched it. I played the Spider-Man PlayStation game. I've seen this movie probably 100 plus times. I just figured out that Jeff isn't Miles's real dad. So that movie viewer I
What?
am. Jeff's his
What? How'd you figure
stepdad.
that out? What?
His name is Jeff Davis. Different last names, and if you go into the camp,
Miles Morales.
and he's Miles
Oh my
Morales.
god.
But before I sound cool, I was listening to Fat Man Beyond, and then into
Huh.
like the
Yeah.
origin of it. Yeah, Jeff is
Wow.
his stepfather, um, but they don't
I
ever
watch YouTube
explicitly
videos
say
too.
that.
That just
I,
makes the movie even more beautiful that they connect in the end.
well, especially that scene. It's like I see the spark in you, Miles. Uh, but like and that so like I mean obviously I loved it, and then it came on Netflix. We bought it, and it's one of those movies that I will watch when I'm happy. I'll watch it when I'm sad. I have this wonderful art. It's actually I hung it up in my office of Miles. So there's an artist I love, Nate Jones. I bought it at Comic Con, and he it's of Miles, but I guess I don't know how to explain it. His art is like he takes like famous quotes, people's faces. He uses their quotes as their face. I'll share it. It's really beautiful, but it has that line which really inspires me at work. The whole thing Miles does is like anyone can wear the mask. You can wear the mask. Like really, like honestly, like if I get really like down, that's the thing that picks me up when I'm down, when like things are tough. And,
Aw,
like that line really fucking it hits me so hard. Obviously we're gonna talk
that's
about Spider Verse,
cool.
but we're gonna kind of do our normal let's chat style. We'll jump around. But it was funny when we were discussing setting up our event on the 29th at CU.live of our watch party, which would be really fun. It's going to be like this, but even better because on CU
So
Live
much
you
better.
could actually interact. So if you're watching this and like in the comments or whatever, we could bring you up what they call the stage, and people can like video interact with us as well. So it's going to be really cool. So it's not like just watching a Zoom call like this is. It's going to be us, and then people can come on and jump. I know we've got some few people who said Cross. Maybe we'll get like someone from Spider Verse connected to it. I'm gonna be reaching out to
Yeah,
anyone I know in the world, but we'll be doing more of this stuff.
everyone.
Um, so I don't know enough. I don't know what the style of animation is called. I know it's the first kind they've ever done it.
It's kind of a amalgamation of different things, really. It's not really one. It's kind of become its own thing because of a multiple things. Um, like I said, the stop motion. It's got an incredibly high frame rate, so it kind of gives you that almost false sense of reality. The way it moves, it almost becomes, how do you say it? It's
Beautiful.
yeah, that
Is that a good word?
yeah, it's like watching when the first TV started coming with really high hertz. It got so fast your brain couldn't process it as fast as the TV would move,
Oh
and then it
my
would just
god!
make you almost nauseous. So it was kind of in that motion. That's when you're like, for me, what gets motion sickness when I first started watching that show and it starts flying around, flipping around. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ!
That
Oh, the
makes
part where he like
At
jumps off
first,
that
it-
building, just slow
yeah,
motion,
and
it's
then,
just
and then
gorgeous.
right, and then I eased into it. I'm like, all right, well now it's starting to blend in, and my brain's starting to get it now.
Aww. And it's got a good rewatchability too, so you can watch it a
Yeah.
million times
oh
and
dude,
still
yeah.
learn
Yeah,
something
they
new.
hey, look, Sony did something right. Yay!
Yeah, because this is all post the Sony hack, right? Yeah, this about passed after the Sony hack.
Mm.
Do you remember? This is how long time ago that was.
Guess I'm so
That was
young, yeah.
ouch.
He's a
It was when
peanut.
Oh god.
What year did Spider Verse come out?
A couple years ago, right?
A couple years ago.
Yeah, it's got to be at least 3 years ago. Yeah, I didn't even think my memory is not so great.
Yeah, they got screwed. That was before they got bought. Yeah, well, before everything happened with
Before
Marvel
Disney.
and Disney, and yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was before that. It was before that.
Yeah,
But that
yeah, I
was
think
one of
you're
the things
right.
that really hurt Sony bad. It almost screwed them.
Because remember the interview had come out. Remember there's the whole thing with North Korea.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Huh.
I thought because I thought they lost the license to Spider-Man. I don't really know all that stuff. Oh, so I won't skip school to that.
Well, there's
No,
a reason why Spider-Man, this last Spider-Man movie, not Spider-Verse, but the one before, the actual live action movie actually blew up and did incredibly well, and that's because it was pretty much Marvel doing everything.
Wait, live action? Like which one? Like the last one,
Like
right?
Far From
Like the
Home.
first couple ones don't
Far
count.
From Home, right? But I'm saying those two movies. If Sony did those on
Yeah.
their own, it would have tanked because
Yeah.
all the movies prior up to before up between this and then Raimi was just tossed
I remember liking the Raimi one, but like, and then even at
for their
one point,
time.
yeah,
the first
yeah.
two.
I don't really go
Ah,
back to him
no.
that much, and I don't really.
No,
I remember
no.
liking the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield when I saw it, but I never went back to it.
Oh,
I heard it was bad.
That's what
I
I
saw
mean.
it.
But
Yeah,
it's like
Far
how
From
many
Home I
Marvel
love.
movies have tanked?
Yeah,
oh.
and because this is weird because this is Sony, and then it's not part of the MCU at all. Which kind of part of me wants them to connect Miles into the MCU.
Not yet, at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, now they can.
I think it's gonna.
Sequels.
I don't think they will, but because Sony has already shown that they can more than succeed with an animated, but be damned if they can
Yeah.
do live action, right?
I know.
Mm.
It's
I
not
mean,
too
I
weird,
mean,
'cause
it's weird.
they had Lord and Miller, who did 21 Jump Street and everything, who did Spider Verse. So it's like, I wonder why they chose animation, and thank God they did. Especially right now with the virus hit, it's like animation's going to be the only thing that can really keep going.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
if they really knew what the hell they were going to do at that point. I think they just threw. I think they were making a cartoon because it's kind of a safe choice as far as if it tanks, then it's a cartoon. It's still animated compared to a
But it's the
live action.
name. It's Spider-Man. It's not just a
Well,
cartoon.
I wonder if
Well,
that's how
no,
that,
in the sense of being safe.
I wonder, and so that's and too because it is it's unique too. Like you have this huge giant Spider-Man, and you're making a movie, and your main character Spider-Man dies in the first 5 minutes, and then you have to then bring in essentially all these B characters and care about them. Like I had never heard of Miles Morales. Like I'm not that into the comic
Really?
books. Yeah, I
I'm
like
not
the
either,
game.
but
Yeah,
I listen to too many podcasts and too much YouTube type stuff.
I feel like I may have heard it on
You know,
Fat Man Beyond would be the only place I would
sure.
probably hear it because I know Mark Bernardin. I think is unintentionally the reason we have Miles Morales. I think story. I think he was this spark that lit the match. I think he made some thing and then I don't. I'm gonna quote it, so I'll skip it. But I think he
That's
had some ties
beautiful.
to it in some facet. But
I like the representation it gives to people. Like I have friends on other podcasts that it's predominantly a black podcast, nerd podcast, and just like the representation that they
what's
feel
it
from
called?
it. Nerdpocalypse. It's a whole network down in Maryland.
Nerdpocalypse.
Oh, I love that
Yeah, they've
group
been
that
around
we're
for
in.
many years. Yeah, exactly. As I invited you into it.
We
Yeah,
were just talking
it's
about
all-
Darkwing Duck on there, who is
yeah,
behind me. I don't know if you can see
and
that.
how
Hi,
meta that show,
Darkwing.
I got
and how freaking meta that show was. That new one it was. Jesus,
yeah, that oh my god, that fucking
they went meta as hell with that.
the new yeah, I could talk about the new DuckTales forever. But
Oh, I haven't started watching the new DuckTales. I
me and
started watching the old one.
me and Dwight
I just
Hurst
did
did
the new season.
we recorded a Patreon feed episode about him just talking about DuckTales, which I think both of us might have lost, but it meant two adult men talking about DuckTales for an hour, claiming it's for a podcast, but it's just because we
Listen,
just want to talk to each other.
it's one of those shows. Listen, whether or not if it's the old show, it's like okay, well that's my generation, so I can totally do this. And then the new one is still adult enough in theme.
It's
There's some serious themes.
Oh my gosh.
so the
Which is
creators of it call it their goal was and which they do successfully. It's Arrested Development meets Indiana Jones. That's the new DuckTales, and they connect all of the
And I like it better. So
I think the '80s one kind of it's amazing, and by the way, buddy, sorry, my cat's trying to get in, but I blocked the door.
Hi.
Sorry,
I haven't watched it yet.
you got it, buddy. Yeah, they connect.
I saw
All the it's like the MCU where all the Disney afternoon is canon. So like Darkwing Duck is a character. There's different characters from different shows. Like Launchpad is still in it, so it's all like it's really cool. So
Fun.
we can't talk Spider-Verse without talking about the soundtrack.
So good.
I have this. I mean, not me. Someone else should, but I have the theory that you could really write like an entire dissertation or a thesis on the scene when him and Uncle Aaron are down in the thing, down in the basement. When doing the spray
I'm
paint.
sure
scene.
somebody has by now.
Yeah, at this point, because it is literally the musical sequence they do of like the Apache and the boom, 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 like they literally do an entire it's that whole section is just like all of New York City it's hip hop. They literally do like the history of hip hop in like 60 seconds scene, which is even more incredible because it's he's from Brooklyn. Hip hop is born in Brooklyn. Like it's so meta. You could not make scene more.
I think that's why it works
Perfect.
so well for a culture, for two different cultures. It works so well because it's like truly as they say, it truly speaks about what New York City is and Bronx is. Like they don't cut any corners. They don't sugarcoat anything.
And I don't know. I think I forgot which came out first. I think it might be Far From Home was first, or I mean Homecoming or Spider-Verse, but these are the only superhero movies that have taken place in New York, and you actually looks like New York. That looks like New York. Like I've been to many of times, and have family and friends who live in New York City or Queens or Brooklyn, and like you watch like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in New York City, and like everyone's fucking white, and like I've been in New York, and it ain't look like that. And then you watch like Homecoming or Spider-Verse, and like
Brooklyn looks like that kind of now, but
parts of Brooklyn, but like
gentrified.
But like when you go to Queens, like if you go to a Queens high school, it's not just Tobey Maguire and whatever that woman, Kristen Dunst.
Yeah,
is that her name?
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten.
I want to see. I saw a Brie Poe reaction. So what's up with that? You don't like her?
I don't. No, I don't like her. I
Ladies
think
and
she's a
gentlemen,
terrible
can I bring in our
actress.
new guest?
She's
Kristen
milk
Dunst?
toast. That's real. She's
Terrible.
milk toast.
Should we-
She's
No,
very
no.
blah.
Should we do
She's
a
like
thing?
the same character in every movie she does. I just no.
That's probably why she doesn't work anymore.
Is she not Maggie Gyllenhaal? Because I confuse those two.
At least Maggie Gyllenhaal did some crazy, weird, like risque, like arty films and shit. She's just as useless, but she at least took challenges. She's never done a thing.
No, what's the other girl's name? She was in Easy A. She was in that
Emma Stone.
Yeah,
Who was?
She's so good.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Garfield, no, but
she's Garfield's IRL GF at that time, right?
Ugh, he just looks clingy and I just can't. I don't think I watched that Spider-Man, but I regretted it. Yeah.
I have never seen any of those fully. I can't.
No,
amazing.
Oh, terrible. No.
Yeah, man. What are your?
So amazing.
So what are your I don't know if you can rank them. Like, do you have a favorite spider in Spider-Verse? Like, part of me loves. I mean, Miles is always gonna be my man, but something about Spider.
Oh my God, Nicolas Cage! I love him.
Spider-Verse.
I love him.
Spider-Noir. Dude, Gwen. Spider-Gwen is like, for my money, I like give her own movie.
Yeah,
I think I imagine that she's probably going to get a spinoff or something eventually because they want to make a whole universe out of this. They're going to turn it into a franchise.
She's like the Black Widow of the Spider-Man.
No, she'll get a movie way faster. They don't have to.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to wait for 10 years for an entire phase and then a global pandemic to get her own movie. And then,
the thing I hope for.
I don't want to be like or ScarJo.
Man, bless your heart.
I hope they don't turn this like too much. The only thing I worry about with Sony with franchises, if they blow this up too much or they go too big with this or too expansive, it's just gonna flat on its ass.
Expansive.
Don't want to do that. This thing is so damn good. You don't want to really take the chance and go too far with it.
Yeah, I do.
We fight with, I don't know. I think they have the right creative team behind it, like with the writers and directors. But I forgot. I think it's like they have like 3 or 4 directors. I forgot all their. I mean, they're. I think Peter something. I've wanted to get all of them on here at some point. I mean, oh my God, I don't know. It's just there's a scene in that movie when they're leaving oh my God, when they steal the chip at Fisk, whatever it's called in upstate New York. I have to watch it tonight. And they're swinging the web swinging. There's the color of the orange of the sky that. Of the trees that they use, that I would love to find someone from that who made the movie to ask them, because it really has like a real Calvin and Hobbes influence to it. Like, I'm a huge Calvin Hobbes fan, and there's this one section of the movie, like the color, it looks so much of like it was an illustration of Bill Watterson. And I feel like the people who made this movie are enough nerds where they would do that. Like,
well, that movie is so damn full of Easter eggs. That thing's so full of Easter eggs and nods and all their little hidden things. It's crazy. I mean, kind
of like Ready Player One.
Well, yeah, that's about as blatant as it gets, though. DeLorean!
I can't remember anything about it.
It's like, all right, DeLorean.
Remember TJ Miller was in it before he kind of got canceled?
Oh, God. That guy's annoying before I never liked him.
I liked him. And then
he just seems like that douchebag in college. Like, he's like that dude who would. You know what I mean? Like, you like party with you, and then you fall asleep, you wake up with a can up your ass or something.
Oh yeah, the people who do really awful.
He's that guy.
Yeah, I know. The people like
dumping all the hot sauce down your throat and laughing as you throw up everywhere.
Why aren't you laughing at my hilarious joke? I'm like, this isn't a joke.
Funny.
Yeah,
he's
it's one of those guys. He's just a he's the bartender in Deadpool.
He had like a brain aneurysm though.
Wasn't that a female bartender, or was that his girlfriend?
No, does he get
only seen once.
Is he in the second one too?
I think so.
Yeah, he doesn't get replaced.
It would make sense because he matches the asshole of Ryan Reynolds, so it kind of bounces off each other. They just kind of screw with each other the whole time.
Except Ryan Reynolds didn't rape someone, or what did TJ? No.
Oh my God!
No, speaking about college, it happened in college.
Yeah, no, but that wasn't even the thing that got him in the most trouble. Even he like called a bomb threat on an innocent person on an Amtrak train after the rape accusation. I'm serious.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He called in a bomb threat on a woman on a train while drunk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was talking about the beer can thing with the hot sauce, now you understand what my
No, I knew exactly what you meant.
literal sense.
But he
It's literally
not
something now.
not to play devil's advocate. I know he's got some like issues as well. I know he had like actual brain surgery too. Like so, I'm not giving him a pass on it.
So did Mark Ruffalo. Okay.
Did he?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a fine line there.
Oh,
Not like a
wait.
dark. That'd be like child abuse. Someone who commits child abuse, they consider to be messed up too if they grew up that way because of what happened to them. It doesn't make them less responsible for things.
No, you're still.
What are we talking about?
Oh, this took
Like my cousin did that. He purposely hit someone with a car. He's not right in the head because when he was a kid, he hit his head really hard. He still went to jail for it, but he went into a medical facility because he's not
Mark
right.
Ruffalo, he had a dream. He had a tumor in his brain, and like he went to the doctor, and the doctor confirmed it,
God.
and he had a tumor. And so Mark Ruffalo is just amazing and wonderful, and he's beautiful.
He filmed a movie in my old neighborhood.
Ooh.
I don't even know what it was called.
Doesn't matter.
I don't even know if it came out, to be honest, but it was like a big deal because Providence is like big enough where like stuff like that will happen, but small enough when it does happen, it's really fucking cool. Like in New York or like LA, they're like, whatever, you're filming a movie in Providence. I was like, oh my god! Or Woody Allen filmed in my neighborhood too. Oh, let's see what Ball's got. Ball's got balls.
Presents? Is that presents?
Not.
No presents.
Are you just changing your pants?
I do have presents.
Oh my gosh! What?
I'm just kind of curious to everyone too. Like,
Changing my pants.
Do you have any other favorite moments you want to talk about? I mean,
Christ sakes, I'm not doing that live stream.
In the movie?
Yeah. Can we actually let's take a moment to highlight the voice acting, the voice. Oh, that's so funny because I have something else I gotta show you too. The voice talent of Shamiq Moore is just like, there's Mike. I haven't talked to him. What's up, Mike?
Hi, Chris.
It's funny that you did that because I actually meant to send you all these a picture and I haven't opened them yet.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Look, we're gonna be doing some giveaways at our thing on the 29th.
Send those soon. Hey, oh shit! See, look, he ones up my ass. Yes, I get stickers. I've got better.
You guys already ordered the stickers?
Yo, Ball gave me the link for Sticker Mule.
I didn't do shit for that.
So we're gonna be doing some giveaways.
Can we make those magnets? Just have them on my fridge.
We can make anything we want. Thank you to the fine folks at Sticker Mule. But yeah, anyway, the voice acting of Shamiq Moore. That dude, I had never heard of him before, but like. He's the voice of Miles. I think he was in the show Dope. Like I've watched the video of him like recording for Spider-Verse. Yeah. His body and his voice don't match up.
Really?
I haven't seen it. It sounds like a voiceover actor. Then
he's
like
so
the really good ones.
Talented, like the way he does Miles.
What they're supposed to.
Yeah, because he sounds like a teenager. Because like the way he pronunciates things in the movie, it's like it's puberty. I can't do his voice is so fucking specific that it makes Miles where I don't think it's replaceable.
Hey.
So you're hoping Sony keeps treating him right, otherwise you're going to be in trouble if he leaves.
And so the last scene in Spider-Verse, I mean Victoria always have this debate. Do you think that Jeff knows that Miles is Spider-Man at the end? Because he walks away, and goes, "I love you." He's like, "I love you. I love you." Wait, and then it kind of cuts. And I always how do you not know that's your son? Stepson.
Because his stepson is always one character, and then with Spider-Man, it's like puts on a mask, and he's like someone completely different.
You saw him disappear.
I don't think he knows. That was sad.
I mean, Aunt May didn't know for how long. I mean, for Spider-Man, I mean, Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane didn't know until he finally let it out. And he was the one screwing her, for God's sakes.
Oh my god!
Wait, what version of that is that?
Any Spider-Man cartoon or movie or anything, all the girlfriends of Spider-Man or Peter Parker never knew a damn thing until he's the one that says it.
He's like a schizophrenic, you just don't even.
They're all like that. Superman's that same way. I mean, if Lois Lane can't tell Superman because of a pair of
glasses. Oh my god!
And I understand that does change the.
Does it?
People.
Does it?
Where'd he go?
Who's that guy?
Hello, strangers. Hey, I'm back. Did you see anyone who looks familiar? Have you ever seen the SNL? Did you ever see the old SNL sketch of with The Rock as Clark Kent, but they all know he's Superman and they're just fucking with him?
No. Sounds
It's
amazing,
old.
though.
It's one of the better SNL sketches. Oh, it's great. They had this hilarious thing about um, it's like about like they make fun of Superman for like being faster than a speeding bullet in the sack, and then he'd get all offended. It's like, whoa, wait there, maybe I'll have to find it. It's a classic. That's like kind of when people all discover that The Rock is like funny because like I'm like a wrestling person.
And that he can sing.
Yes, you're right because he did like yeah, I do remember that, and obviously well I mean it's Maui.
It's freaking it's Moana. I mean,
yeah, all of us have kids. Have any of your kids watched Spider-Verse? Like mine's too young.
Yeah, my son loves Miles. He calls him the Black Spider-Man because he has a black suit. And I'm like, honey, just call him Miles. You know, it's out in public here. It's like it's because of his suit, you know, not just So yeah.
For some added context, Bree lives in Charlottesville, so that could be fun.
Virginia? Oh yeah, no, it's I swear we're like almost always in the news. It was the anniversary of all the crazy August 12th with the KKK people downtown in Charlottesville, like half shut down, and there's like protests like every day.
Yeah,
scary.
That's bad.
Anyway, it's nice.
It's also a little rough, yeah.
Yeah.
But, Miles, I fucking love Miles. So one thing I do want to talk about too, you know, this is our Let's Chat into the Spider-Verse conversation, but obviously I'm not a deep dive in the movies. How did you? And some people may not know you two as much because we're still kind of integrating with our team. We've been going through some changes and trying to work people into the show more. So how did you two end up finding? How do we all end up connecting? I don't think any of us actually has figured it out. I know how I met Will, and that's it, because it was the most recent. Will and Mike, I met Mike through you, Bree, and Will I met through Twitter. But like outside of that, at some point we were all in each other's lives and didn't really know how or why.
Yeah, you live close to Will though, don't you?
We live, like 15, 20 minutes. Like we've hung out outside. We met in real life the first time we met. We were supposed to hang out recently, and every time we tried to do something bad, we couldn't do it. Oh, yeah, no. Not even COVID.
Yeah,
just more tire fell off, or I can't sleep. Felicity's trying to kill me. I can't move. Well, he works like nights, and we're all parents, so it's like, hey, you guys want to hang out? Because I'm free around Wednesday at 1 p.m. in 6 months.
11 from like 1 to 1:30. No.
I got a good 35, 40 minutes in the middle of the day. She'll nap from 2 to 3. And in 4 months, maybe we'll do that. And apparently no one wants to party at 2 in the afternoon.
I swear. Is that ice cream? Yeah, no, I first found out about Let's Chat when you asked a question on Twitter and I answered it. It was like, what's your favorite 80s band or something? I swear it was about the 80s.
I hope.
Yeah. And then I answered it.
See if you can get us canceled.
Yeah. And then I just started following you, and we started bantering like back and forth, and then we just became friends.
Do you remember what you used to tweet with Kevin Gallagher from Everything Is Awesome? Shout out if you ever see this. I love that man.
Hey, Kevin.
With what was it, DiGiorno and Carvel?
Yeah, like sponsor us, DiGiorno.
Yeah, we would just tweet about the pizza we were eating for lunch. And Laura, one of my favorite human beings on earth, Laura Carr, who will be at our See You Live event. She said she's like unintentionally responsible for this entire thing happening, but has refused to come on in all 7 years.
Wow.
But wonderful human being. But yeah, that's right.
Pizza,
about our
black
lunch.
olive and mushroom with mustard on it, and sometimes with candy hearts during Valentine's Day.
We started like talking with Carvel and like DiGiorno. Carvel ice cream would we would have like they were funny. Whoever ran that account.
They need a raise.
What if it was balls?
Yeah, pizza and ice cream. I mean, it was just the dream.
And then I know, I feel like you must, because I know Pod and Family is probably we all connected. And then I know, like, I must have seen you pop up on another podcast as a guest somewhere, because at some point you came on this show, Brie. I don't remember why. No? Was that the first podcast you were ever on?
Yeah. And we just talked back and forth about I don't even know what we talked about, just everything. And I was so nervous. I was like, like that. And
Yeah, actually, I do remember you being really nervous, and I remember like you had Robert in the background because you wanted to keep you support, and I remember asking you one like simple question, you froze, and then you told me later on why. I was like, okay, I would have avoided that one, but I'll skip that for
like,
today.
just cut that out. It's fine.
No, and it was funny because like unintentionally, the episode before yours was Travis McElroy, who I, for my brother and me, also now the New York Times like best-selling author and shit. But I had no idea who they were, and my buddy Jacob basically put it together, and it turned out to be like the biggest episode, and you were on right after, so you got like a huge bump of no, just kidding,
You,
7
Travis.
and then, but at some point we were like Twitter friends, and then somehow we just became like IRL friends.
Really? Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been a long.
So we just started chatting back and forth.
It's been over the course of 5 years. I would say there's probably like dips where we probably didn't communicate often. Well, there's a few years where I didn't really talk to anybody, because of. But I, like most of my friendships, I think our traumas brought us together.
Everyone on our little producers thing had just gone through some crap. We just connect through it.
Except
It's
Mike.
funny.
Well, maybe Mike has. I don't know Mike well enough, but what?
Probably. Mike, what about you?
What if
What's
Mike
your
has like a
trauma?
perfect life? Yeah.
No.
What's your damage?
What's your major
If you're not
malfunction?
broken, you can't be with us.
Yeah, I think it was when I was struggling with the PTSD is when you and I first, I think, probably came like closer.
Yeah,
Right?
we connected, and then you guys got pregnant,
Victoria did,
and we
not me.
sent you outfits. Well,
Yes,
yeah,
he sent us. I still use a
the
thermometer
flash
every day.
outfit.
Yep,
Yeah.
and she wore her, and you also got her a thermometer. And at the time, I was like, "Oh, that's cool!" And it's one of the most practical gifts we've ever received. I still
Thank
use it.
you.
I use it.
Yeah, I mean,
especially
they're
now.
important.
Well, and
Yeah.
I have to get temp checked before I can go into work. So I don't want to
Mhm.
waste my time. So I check every time before I go out. Like, you're supposed to do it at home, and then you gotta do it when you get. That doesn't matter. So it's just so every time I always think of, yeah, our depression and going through
Yeah.
losses caught us together.
How fun is
Ball-
that? Loss brings together.
And Ball,
And-
I'm trying to think. Were we on that Let's Talk Some Shit podcast with Fat J and like Lost at Home years ago? Like I remember meeting you through those cats.
I'm pretty sure I met you through them somehow, but I'm trying to remember as to how. It was a long time before we started talking. Like,
did you know
beyond
Fat J?
Twitter.
Jay Ralph,
I
think his name.
I think that's probably how we somehow connected. I don't know him, but I do remember that episode that the Lost to Home kind of crossed over on.
There was like a bunch of us. There was like a
Yeah.
lot. That because I had known Lost at Home. Like we never, but like that was the only time we ever like spoke outside of like internet talk. Those dudes were really nice, really kind to me. But there was a bunch of people.
Yeah, I was helping them a lot at that point at social media.
They had like Dan Harmon on. Like, I don't know if you remember. They like Dan Harmon unintentionally announced like a new season of Rick and Morty on their podcast, and then was like, whatever, go ahead. And I remember them telling me, then putting it to Reddit. I remember. I don't know if they would remember me, but a handful of conversations I had with them, I learned a lot about
Scott. Yeah, Scott does definitely.
They were really
you
nice.
before.
Oh, that's all. Yeah, I remember them like giving me like so much advice on like how to promote episodes. Because I poached one of their guests, Anna Maria Liente, who is she's Dasha Pormenti in Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I mean, she's in it for 6 seconds. Still pretty cool.
But she was in it. I remember you posting about that episode too.
Oh, and they had the guy who played the Demogorgon from Stranger Things on, and they had
I think he's been there a couple times now.
They were helping me out at one point. Isn't it funny what sticks in your head for like stuff like that? And it never came together. I mean, this podcast is probably for all the episode exist because as the story says. All right, like I did for our fun audio trailer. It was just me doing everything up until a few months ago. So there's a lot of misses throughout the years of things that could have or should have happened that I apologize to anyone I never responded to. It's been nice having other people, but that was one. One of the ones I wish happened, but it was one of the ones like they said yes, we started to set it up, and it just kind of never happened. Was Richard Rains from Drive Thru Records was going to do the show? That would have been fucking fun. But other misses, yeah. But I just feel like you just kind of were always in those like Twitter circles.
I'm in the zeitgeist.
The connector. You're like the Kevin Bacon of podcasts and Twitter.
And the short version, Victoria had Victoria. For anyone who doesn't know, Victoria, my wife, had a very traumatic birth. We lost her. Then Felicity was in the NICU. A bunch of other shit happened. I had PTSD. So fuck this. Show's done. But I was so depressed I couldn't even quit the show right. I would just get. Well, not sure. I would say more. I would laugh. I would say it's more clinging on because I think in my core I didn't want to end it, but it went from weekly to monthly to every few months, and then I finally things got found EMDR therapy. Things got better. Started doing the podcast again, but I just wasn't finding the in it again. It was when I got my new logo that you can see back in that beautiful pillow Victoria got for me by Brian Malloy of Popcorn Inc. And great dude. I started doing it again, and however months that was, I was it wasn't fun anymore because I like the hosting a lot and I like the booking, but there's a lot of making a podcast, hosting a podcast and getting someone hosting, producing, and getting someone to listen are now at this point 3 separate skill sets. They are all consuming if you actually want someone to listen to your podcast.
And to think how long that my friends there have been doing it at Lost to Home, and they've always done it on their own. They've never, other than me, which I used to do a little bit, I haven't done really much for them in a long time. Everything has been on their own. I mean, all the TV people they've gotten, it's all Scott too.
It's easy because I feel like myself, I know what the parts I'm good at, but it's true. Just because you have a name on your show doesn't mean people are going to listen anymore. I think there's definitely been a change in the medium too. Now there's also more podcasts than there's ever been.
You just can't rely on one thing, on one medium alone anymore. It's not new. It's not the thing, That's why everybody has video now, and everybody has multiple different medium. They just use this as the launching point for something bigger.
Yeah. And it's pretty much, the podcasts have kind of turned into the thing. It's here's a promotional tool. Most people, a lot of artists or people use it. It's the thing that you use to get someone to buy the thing in terms of business. Not many people are making the money off of just hosting a podcast. You got to have a thing associated with it, which I've never had and was never the plan.
Yeah.
But then, I started thinking of what I wanted to do. I was thinking of hiring people and all this stuff, and I kept going back. Are you West Wing fans?
Oh, Robert is.
Not you?
All he does is talk about West Wing because it's Kevin Bacon again, I swear.
Oh, it's amazing.
I've seen one scene which keeps going around the internet right now.
Which one?
About with the president over there, Sheen, talking about I think he's talking about anti-abortion or something. I can't remember what it is.
That's a good.
And he's talking to one of the reporters, and he just shuts her right the hell down with constant Bible verses.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
God, West Wing comes up every day in my life. It's ridiculous.
Well, you can tell this to Robert. There's a scene in it, a flashback episode of West Wing when Leo.
I see too much politics these days. I can't.
No, West Wing is it's a liberal's wet dream. It's if you want to be happy, you watch the West Wing. It's also, but there's a scene when Leo meets Jed where he says, "I've been walking around with this thing in my head," and he slows down a napkin. It says Bartlett for America. I relate to that scene of West Wing because I was. Probably a good month went by where I was I want to ask Brianna on, to be my producer. I think for a long time, and I just kept thinking. It was and you were my first call, Brianna, and I was when I was going to put a team together, you were the first one I called.
Yeah, and you were so nervous.
She said no.
I did.
I was oh.
He's actually paying me right now just to be on here.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Soon.
Oh my god.
But yeah. And so then that kind of came together. We put together a little team, and then kind of some people came and went. Shout out Nate Peavy, who I just had us over at his house for a barbecue recently with Julia, and it was amazing. And he and Julia were so sweet to Felicity, and they're just the nicest people in the world. My buddy Max, and then when I started the team, I thought it was just going to be more for fun. And then cool this, and then it slowly kind of built into much more than.
And then ideas just came, and then we bounce ideas off of each other. Then it's oh my god, we can do this, and it just blossomed.
It went from oh cool, I'll have someone to to just like help out with a couple little things, so I'll have more time to. Okay, all right, so let's get our 5-year business plan ready and start pitching to some investors and build our company out. So like, for doing this for like 6.5 years solo to being like purposely DIY, I'm never gonna make money off this, blah blah blah, to like I want this to be my career. It's an interesting shift. So yeah, and then when all that happened, I put a thing on Twitter, and I was like looking for some Photoshop help, and I had communicated with Will and on Twitter, but it's neither of us knew we lived near each other. It's just by happenstance because we were both huge fans of the Daily Zeitgeist. And he's like, so then he reached out. He's like, yeah, I can help you, man. And then he's like, do you want to meet for coffee? I can share my work. I was like, okay. And he kind of unintentionally talked his way. It's terrifying.
I'm sorry. I got excited.
I know. I think she likes you more than me.
That's understandable.
That's the Doodle King.
That's Doodle.
Paul. Oh, nice to see you.
They can't hear you.
Yeah.
Actually, they can't hear
Where's
you.
that baby?
Sleeping.
Night.
I got her to bed
Wake her up.
early. And then Bree, you brought on Mike, aka
Schwartz.
Seth
God,
Rogen.
he looks just like, what is his
Rogen.
name?
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
So, not only does he look like Seth Rogen, like people say that, he actually won a competition.
Of a lookalike competition. Yeah.
So, yeah, he really does. And then
That's
Ball,
so funny.
I don't remember either if I ever officially. We would just start talking all the time, and then you just were there.
Yeah,
Right?
I have a penchant for just shooting the shit with people, especially other podcasts. You know, that's how I with Lost at Home and the other ones, I would just connect. You know, let me see who strikes a conversation, who wants to actually build something or just shoot the shit and make friends or whatever. I helped out a few shows here and there. Some of them were, pretty screwy and just kind of left me on the side. And then other ones,
Take that, Joe Rogan.
Booze.
You hear that? Chris Rogan was the original title of the Chris Rogan Experience.
No, don't attach me to that guy. Jesus Christ.
You don't like the Joe Rogan Experience?
He's
Uh-oh.
like the biggest bonehead who just happens to be in the middle enough to where he can get away with anything with other people, whether it be one side or the other, or like the same people or the screwy conspiracy guys. Like he's able to just be in the middle just enough to where he's kind of like, yeah, that's okay, that's possible, but
Oh,
I would
you're
take
not
it
a Google
if you weren't
king.
wearing a doodle hat, it would take you so much more serious.
Yeah, I know. Oh, but no, I take it more serious with the hat on.
I was gonna say, if you ever see me, you should see my last stream with you guys. There's nothing serious about the moment.
I'm sorry, serious? Not here.
Serious?
Is that cat?
That's what I got.
Oh, no, baby cat.
Oh,
Nice.
see, that's what happens. I get serious, take up the hat, take up the crown, and you bring in a cat. Jesus Christ, trying to one up me over here.
I don't know where my baby is. I can't grab her
There we
and
go.
show her
I have another
because she's
cat,
still
too.
awake.
I can't do that. My son's a 66-pound child on the couch right now. I'm not moving him.
Your son's so funny. Oh my god.
Yeah,
They're
he's
freaking
cute.
move me. Oh.
So do you,
Probably.
I never can actually ask you this outside of something like this because it'd be too weird.
Oh, no.
But what episodes have you actually listened to? I'm always curious. Like I don't really know who or listens or why. So I'm always like, what episodes like brought you into me? That came out wrong. Uh-oh. What's this?
What?
Oh, I thought maybe you walked in. Hi! Hi! It's the... Oh my goodness, you got... Look at the little hair. Hold on. Hey, Victoria, there's a baby!
It's a poop.
Babe! There's a baby!
Hello, girl.
Hi,
lady.
Where's the baby? Where's the baby?
It's your baby.
Oh, you're so beautiful.
Chris's son's sleeping.
Hi, baby.
I always teach your daughter bad things on here. Well, this is devolved in the way I like it.
And she's still awake because she took a nap late.
Oh no! Oh my god, she looks just like you.
She's got my
I
eyes, huh?
mentioned that to you? Hey, your daughter looks like you.
I mean, I did birth her, so I feel like.
I have to go. I'm very.
Hi,
You're on microphone. Hi, Robert. What episodes have you like listened to, or somewhere down the line before we actually knew each other, or at a point that we were like, I like,
Jesus Christ.
maybe I should work with this one. This guy. I'm still like 90% sure, like Mike
Working
and Will,
with
I'd be
you?
like, never actually listened to your show, but I'm sure it's good.
No,
no,
I listened from the beginning. What? Because you would do little shout outs and be like, "Oh my God, it's Brie!" Like, "Hey, Brie, hey, Brianna," and those shows from the beginning. Yeah.
Because there's a fuck ton back. I mean, listen, I made them, and there's episodes I don't remember unless you tell me. I'm like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean
Well,
it's just
7 years, Jesus.
I know. And listen, I've quit everything else in my life.
I can't remember 7 days, let alone 7
Especially
years.
Not your wife,
Oh yeah, ex-wife. Just kidding.
Victoria.
I was like, whoa, wait.
I'll slap
What
you.
are you?
What
What
over
the?
here, slap you.
Did you listen to the Nathan Gray one, Chris? I feel like that would have been up your alley.
Oh.
I always assumed you would have.
I mean, I talked to you long. I've been talking to you online long before I'd even heard you. I was just like, oh, that's a cool guy. I'm gonna shoot the shit with, whatever.
So that's how you get listeners.
Yeah,
Cheap,
No, when you started having that guy that was in the church and then he was abused. What is his name?
Joe Capizzi.
Yeah, that's
Good man.
when we started connecting,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I listened to those episodes, and then started following him, and
Great fucking human being who went through such a traumatic, horrible experience, and then it turned life into becoming an advocate, and he's now a dad. And I know that I think he's gonna hopefully come back. He's got a documentary coming up pretty soon that he's been working on, but he made a play. For anyone not unfamiliar, Joe Capozzi is a actor, theater guy, but he growing up, he was molested repeatedly by a childhood priest. The priest actually married him like at his wedding, and then he's married to his first wife. And then I think later in life he had some PTSD. By the time we had met, he had written a play about his experience and a short film promoting called Confessions. And now he's happily married and him become an amazing advocate. And another was almost going to happen at that same time. Barry Crimmins, there's this great documentary called Call Me Lucky. If you like, it's beautiful. Bobcat Goldthwait made it. He's a Boston comedian. He was like the next big thing. Like this is before Louis C.K. We found out he's a piece of shit. He was basically the Louis C.K. He Louis would open for him, all this stuff. This documentary about his comedy career and then his childhood sexual assault. So him and so he was actually going to come on this podcast, but he actually passed away, so it never ended up happening. But Joe connected me kind of to that world of male survivors, so I got to meet a lot of really wonderful people, and I get to work with a lot of those people at work, and wonderful person, yeah. And those are the ones. That's always the episode that's like a spinoff. I'm like, I don't know. In terms of branding or marketing, I never thought of. It was like, you gotta have someone on from a Star Wars by someone who's talking about their childhood sexual abuse. That'll get them. And we're the three people who like to listen to that.
It could be. I mean, honestly, you could just done it for yourself. You know what I mean? At the very least, it's your show. I mean, yeah, you always want to try to capture the audience and capture people to bring in, but at the same time, if people can't enjoy the entertainment with the seriousness, the drama of the situation, then and the reality,
they don't like Judd Apatow. No, I think for better or worse, I don't know. Maybe we had what nice call we had with Scott. Like for better or worse, there was a lack of that. Like I never at any point was like, let's get this Maybe I should have, or maybe we should still, but it's never been for that. It's always been like, who sounds cool? And so I'm a fan of that. But yeah, that's so funny because I'm always expecting the ones that mean the me or the bigger names. It's always so funny when it's the ones like that because that will always mean a lot to me. Like he's one of the people I would keep in touch with here and there. And like, oh, now he's a dad, and what a great person.
Yeah, I started following him, and it's good to have different genres and ideas and people on, kind of like fishing and branch out to see what you like, what you don't like, and maybe someone listens to one episode and it gets you into your show, and then your show is about something completely different.
Let me tell you, I am now finding out the majority of the audience we have does not know what Spider-Man is, and I thought they would. It's so fucking funny to me. Like I was reaching out to some friends, they're like, never saw it. I was like, oh,
Oh
but
my
I could
gosh.
see not seeing it, but if you weren't a fan of anything of that, like that,
I
would have been
know. I think that's
Well,
the
you know, the
beauty of
first
it,
couple
though.
movies were
Am I-
so bad.
I
Am I
think
that
that's-
captivating?
I don't. To me, that's the thing about podcasts or like podcasts in general that you can kind of like, like we have like some weird niches. Like we've got a lot of animation people who've been on. Like we have a lot of fan base. I think of it. We have little pockets of all these different fan bases, and then they don't always necessarily cross over. But so like sometimes we have like the writers from Bob Burgers, and then sometimes it's Matt
Yeah.
Farr from the Get Up. Like those don't connect. But to me, it's
I
fucking
think that's
awesome
like anything.
because I love Bob's
That's
Burgers,
fun.
and
They
fuck, do I
connect through
love it.
you though. Like you're the person. You're like the tier, and like all the
Yeah.
guests like.
I
show
think
up
that's what
after.
I think that's what's made it fun over the years, and well,
Mhm.
yeah, let's do like give another like 5 or 10 minutes so we can wrap it up. So we can.
Well, don't forget to say that the See Alive has only
Oh, yeah.
50 guests, so you better sign up quickly, or you're
Oh.
not gonna.
No, 50 left. We only have 50
Yeah.
tickets left,
Awesome.
so y'all got to be signing up, and we put the link. We'll put the link up on the Facebook page. You know, no, I don't have it in front of me right now. I got it. We're gonna do a series of these. Let's chat into the Spider-Verse leading up to it. Sometimes it'll be me hosting. If any of our other producers, I'm hoping, want to get on camera with me, I think that would be awesome too. We could talk
Get
about
Schwartz.
that.
And Will.
Going forward though, like who do you what do you want to see from the show? Because I feel like we're going from a podcast and now starting to kind of branch off into different mediums and stuff, and see you live, and moderated that great panel at What Cheer Writers Club.
Yes.
Who do you want to see, and what do you want to see from the show, and then obviously we'll close out talking about Spider-Verse a little.
So good. Are you asking us, or are you asking
You.
the world?
I'm at you,
Okay.
Bree, and then Pirate Ball.
Well, you know, you do really good with the punk rock musics. You know,
I know.
you enjoy those.
Music's
I know.
that music.
Will and Mike really want to get Buddy from Senses Fail, and I think he's our next. But I also want to. Yeah, he's definitely on our list of people on. Or ask.
You know-
I don't know.
I think it'd be fun to have a couple of other like podcasts just starting out, like talk to them and see what their ideas are, and kind of like bounce ideas off each other and have a fun show and just collaborate.
That could be
That would be
fun.
cool. And obviously Nicolas Cage, Chris Carrabba, Patrick Stump, and
Well, Carabo is going to be tough right now because he just got in that motorcycle accident.
he's healed. He's fine. You don't follow him on
Yeah.
his Instagram.
I do.
I was gonna say
Um,
then that would mean he had all the time in the world right now.
That's
Yeah,
true.
he's good. He's
We
fine now.
could
Played out. Yeah.
possibly get
He's
to
ready.
We've had people on that know him, so like if we can get a pitch to him, at the very least, he'll catch his eyes.
Well, I mean, you just start writing.
Yeah, well, because I know Tom Mullen, who does Washed Up Emo, and him are like our IRL friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like Patrick Stump. I know. Oh yeah, that's definitely on our list. Ball. Who are your like?
I actually had people that I could have gotten at one point possibly, and now that the
And
connections
then
have been
Revill
dead,
drop
back
the
on-
ball. It's true. I don't have a lot of time.
Terrible.
I mean,
We-
Jesus, my name's Seaballs, for Christ's sakes.
We're gonna have to set up like a calendar or something.
Well,
I have a gong. We just ring it every time you do something stupid.
Which one?
Stupid pun. Gong.
No, which one's the doing stupid? Me or him? Both. Yeah. You bitch.
I'm sorry. Go on, Chris. Ball.
Chris, drop the balls. See, that doesn't even look like a joke. That looks
Oh,
like
hey,
a
that's
mohawk.
hey mohawk.
That actually looks
There
good.
yeah,
you go.
it's like a pirate hawk now.
That's perfect.
I also
Okay.
realized
didn't
that
get one
I
as a
might have
kid, so.
labeled our
She'll put
video or
feathers.
made. We'll talk afterwards. Ball, who do you want to see on? Like, who are our next? Because we actually only, for anyone, people lost, and we only have 2 episodes recorded. We have next Monday, if you're watching this in real life, we'll have Elise Major from Providence Media, and then the following week is Rob DeGray, who's a fucking amazing music journalist, and then we got nothing, so we gotta fill up our book.
We should fill it up with us too, so people can learn about who the producers are and like
We are.
their lives and
We're gonna
how
do
they
a
got to
producers chat. But who would you want to see on Ball? Who would you go?
Off the top of my head, Jesus. I don't know. I used to have a list of this stuff back when I first started my podcast because I had the intention of bringing guests eventually. If I, at the very least, if my solo thing didn't work the way I was doing, I was going to have to switch gears. And then my job changed, the shift changed, everything changed, and everything went to hell. I couldn't do it anymore. I know I had a guy named Chris Hornbrook out of Cali. He was in a band, post-hardcore band called Poison the Well.
I used to love them.
He used to be. He actually did some work with because he's a session drummer. So he did some work with Senses Fail. Not too long ago. He did.
We had Heath from Census Fail on.
Yeah.
There you go. Greg. What the hell is his last name? I can't remember his name. He was the singer of Diligent Escape Plan. He worked on his album. He's like a big session drummer.
That's a fucking hard drum to play.
He was playing. He played drums on. What the hell's his name? I can't remember his name. Harrison from the Beatles. His son's album. He did a bunch. He's done a ton of shit. Far more. His credits are crazy long.
Yeah, those people are always the most interested.
I like them almost better than one band members because then they can go on forever. There's a fun one for you. This one's easy for you. Your cousin.
Sarah?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll tell you more offline. There's probably a reason that's never happened.
I'm so excited.
No, yeah, I've asked a couple of times. Just never happened. But we'll keep trying. I know.
Have Ball ask.
It's family, man. Come on.
Oh, well, yeah, at one point, Aaron from Red Thing was supposed to do it too.
I was going to say, he's dropping new music, a new song too.
They are no longer married, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't care. She'll never see this.
Oh, that's one more fucking surprise.
They've been divorced for a while. Yeah, no, that's old news. They've done been divorced. Yeah, that'd be fun. My two goats, like the two people I think I've always wanted to have on, like my two dreams are Conan O'Brien and Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith sounds so familiar. Is this embarrassing? What's he in?
He made Clerks, Dogma, Mallrats.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now he's probably more known for like YouTube stuff.
He's kind of the Godfather. He's kind of basically the Godfather of podcasting too.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't the one that created it, but he was the one that made it big. Like it was him and Nerdist were the huge ones. They're the ones that kind of made it popular and accessible.
I think Aisha Tyler should be in that Pod Mountain, but kind of doesn't get the attention because she ended a little early. She kind of she had Girl on Guy around that. It was fucking awesome, but she really deserves a lot of. That's another one oh my god. So let's start wrapping it up. Final thoughts on Spider-Verse. This whole chapter. So we're Sia.live. We're going to post all the information on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and our Facebook community page is just Let's Chat with Chris Revill Community. And we are presenting Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse on August 29th at 8 p.m. It is going to be through Sia Live, which is a wonderful, great way to watch movies together. We're going to give giveaways. We're going to be giving shit away through the mail for the USPS, and it's going to be a ton of fun. Any closing thoughts on Spider-Verse and why it's just like perfect?
One of the best scenes, one of the many best scenes is like the beginning where like Miles is just at his desk and he's like running late and he's just that part.
Yeah.
It just gets you into the mood. You're like, this is what to expect now, and then just sets up everything for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's the reason I like Post Malone. Actually, that movie soundtrack turned me on to a whole era of hip hop I had completely missed. Side note,
right?
Felicity loves
Post
Malone.
So
I have a hard time calling him that, but
with what?
Hip hop
or hip.
You're just grumpy, Chris.
Well, that's his shtick.
When he first came out, he was hip hop because that was blatantly what he was doing, like rapping.
Don't you love how he thinks he knows what we're talking about?
But now he does everything because now he's playing guitar with blues musicians. He's out there doing rock songs. He's out doing everything. He doesn't care. He's that guy. He's like, oh, hip hop's over. Time to go to rock now. which is
No,
great.
he's just multi-talented. He just does what he doesn't
Well,
he doesn't care about anybody but himself.
Genres are gone. I think it's one of the most amazing things. I just started learning about emo rap, and it's pretty great. Or like that, Machine Gun Kelly, and Juice World. Yeah, I'm still learning about it all.
Bless your heart.
That guy's dead.
There's this dude I found on YouTube called it's called like the Punk Rock MBA, and I just go on YouTube. I fucking love him, and I was like, oh.
I mean, I had a music podcast, so there's little I don't know at this point. I read up everything, even things I don't care about, minus country. I pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a Post Malone
You're from
was.
Virginia, Jesus.
I
You didn't know what a Post Malone was.
I didn't know who Post Malone. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know when I saw that movie. I did not know who Post Malone was. I never heard Sunflower. I was so like, what?
You could see that guy and not know who he was, but remember him. Like he's got a face you never forget.
Yeah, that soundtrack to that movie is just like it introduced me like. The famous scene where he jumps off with the "What Up Danger." Like I would have never found that song any other way.
Oh, it's just so well done.
Yeah, that drops my heart drops every time I see that. It's just like,
This is beautiful.
Oh well, this is really fun. We're gonna do more of these, and we'll put them together less than 15 minutes ahead of time. So if we're a little off, I still think we did good. This was really fun. I mean, I'm not kidding. We literally put this together. We talked about it this afternoon, and at like
8 o'clock.
At
you let me know about 15 minutes before.
It's like I don't know if my computer can start up that fast.
So yeah, Chris, you got the 15-minute warning, and Bree and I had a 30-minute warning. We're not even. It was just like, let's just do it. Fuck. I mean, and I'm so happy.
Shit, my Chromebook's literally sitting on top of the bureau right now. I'm standing. So
nice.
Yeah, this is fun.
There's no room in this house.
We'll do more of these, and it looks like I might have did the description poorly because I got a couple messages like, "Wait, what? What is this? Is this different? Why?" So we'll talk about that later. Thank you so much. I needed just some chill. Originally we were gonna have a meeting and do nerd stuff, but then we're like, let's just have some fun tonight. It's Saturday.
Yeah. We just drove like 7 hours. I'm just.
Do we really want to like knock out a quick press release and figure out some like data and do all that nerd stuff?
No, the people that aren't here can do it. Schwartz and Will. There you go.
Tell Will to get out of. Oh my god. Oh.
That's why this is kind of like the triad right here.
Will, why am I in the bottom? Like, what is? Just kidding.
Well, that was Chris's fault.
Any parting words, Mr. Balls?
I thought of one more artist you could look at. Anthony Green, Circus Survive, Animals Fighting Animals, Seosin.
He toured with Ollie.
Yeah. He's got a hell of a thing. And he's a teacher, a recovering addict, all kinds of things.
The way I like I had the thing I learned from booking Gast. In my personal theory, it's like if I can get a message to someone and I can have a name in there they'll recognize, I feel like that's like all I need. So whenever I hear like, all right, you say a name, like who do I know who knows that? And it's like, okay, he knows John.
Oh,
he knows Anthony. Yeah, good.
It's all connections. It really is. It's like the idea. Like I have a friend who makes now he makes $150,000 a year doing a job. He literally has no college for it, but he literally built his way up by everybody he knew. He's like, I made as much friends as possible and wrote down everybody. And always, every once a month, I would go and shoot the shit with him, just make sure they knew.
Is he gonna donate all of his salary?
Yeah.
Just saying.
How many kids that guy's got?
Just saying. Yeah, we're like, we could build a revenue stream tonight, but let's just talk about Spider-Man instead.
Spider-Man. I'm excited. I want to watch it now.
I think I'm actually going to go ask Victoria if she wants to watch it,
because she's wonderful and she'll just. I love her.
She loves it. We're gonna do one with her too because we watch it together all the time. Yeah, when I'm like when life gets too hard, I watch it. When life gets real good, I watch it. Like it's.
Yeah, when it's on, you watch it.
That scene with his dad. Oh my god! Just with Jeff, it fucking kills.
It just takes on a new meaning when you're a parent,
And he's a stepdad.
Stepdad, excuse me.
But no, not all right. But then,
yeah, no.
But he actually called. But that's what put on that lens. He goes out of his way to always call him dad in the movie. Even when he's like being a little stern with him, he's like, "Yeah, I know, Dad. All right, Dad." Like they go out of his way to hammer home Dad, and you're like, It's not even, and then that even makes you love Uncle Aaron even more because that's not even his biological nephew. It's just like he's got this
Yeah.
fucking rough past, and then
And they have a good connection too.
I see the spark in your mind.
Wow.
Oh, I know. Uncle. You know,
Okay.
I know, me too. Before we love, this movie was so good that it should be so obvious that Uncle Aaron is gonna die because it's fucking Spider-Man and they all lose an uncle. We all know it. We knew he's a criminal. Like we knew there's no reason not to. But I was so enthralled in the movie. It was like any other movie I would have jumped ahead because I was thinking too much. I was so like, to quote Miles, I am in the moment. It's a terrible moment that I didn't see it coming.
I didn't know. Like when he got shot, I was like, "What just happened?"
And it sounds like it'd be so simple, right? Because like, oh yeah, it's his uncle. Every Spider-Man loses an uncle. But it was so good.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
I do. I also like to quote Spider-Verse a lot. When things suck, I just go, I am in the moment. It's a terrible moment, and that's how I like to classify this pandemic. I am in the moment.
I don't think you know what puberty is.
I don't think you know. I know. For the next one of these, I think I'll write out some like questions and we'll have a little more format. So thanks for being my
better.
and all three. We can do this again. So all right, I'm gonna hit end broadcast. Thanks for anyone who
Thanks,
joined
Chris
us.
Revill.